All right, what is up? It's your boy John at Street Vibe, BB Pro is tell like it is. Welcome back to another episode of Train With Me. Today we're gonna cover cable tricep extensions using the rope and the straight bar. That's about it, really. So, without further ado, guys, keep your eyes glued to the screen, ears glued to the speakers, and let's learn how to do this right. Okay, so mainly the reason why most people get this wrong is number one, their setup, and then how they're actually engaged throughout the lift. Now, I'm definitely going to do a video on straight arm pull downs. But the reason why I'm bringing that up right now is because if you're doing straight arm pull downs right, then you'll be able to kind of catch on to this. At the bottom of straight arm pull down, and for the most part, at the end of your set of straight arm pull downs, you probably feel your triceps burning, right? Regardless if you got a little bend in the elbow or you're doing it with your arms locked out, as you should. The reason being is because your tricep does aid with shoulder extension. So when you're pulling yourself back like this, it does help with it. So if you think about being at the bottom of a straight arm pull down, that's how we should be finishing with our tricep extensions. So first things first, again, we're thinking about from the ground up, from floor to core. What I wanna do is actually pull this thing down right away. And I'm gonna walk back a little bit so I'm away from the bar. I don't wanna be so close, so I'm doing this and I basically have no choice but to have my elbows in this position here, because what happens when our elbows are here, whether using the rope or the straight bar, when our elbows are behind, we're so close, we end up, and I see this happen all the time, we hit ourselves here. Like we're literally in the way of full range of motion. And you can even be in this like super duper crazy like hinged position, but it doesn't matter because when you're done, there's something always in the way because your elbows are behind. That's like the biggest mistake I see all the time is elbows are here, partly because we're stronger here. We're stronger crammed together, so it's easier to sit there and load the weight up and be like, oh,
I just do this, and it's like sweet range of motion.
Right? So what we wanna do is we wanna make sure that we think about that bottom range of the straight arm pull down, where the weight is in front of us a little bit, right? So we're gonna create that by, again, just putting it down, stepping out a bit, and let the weight, again, pull you into position. Just like when we did the bicep curls, if you watched out this video, if you haven't, it's right here. All right, so at the bottom of my range, if I let the weight just kind of pull me, it will pull me out this way, right? It's gonna pull me out. So I wanna let it pull me out so my elbows are slightly in front of my body. So if you look at it, no matter where I'm at, I can do the salsa, nothing, I'm not in the way. Fully extended, my triceps are locked out, and I'm not in the way of myself whatsoever, right? This is how we wanna be. We don't wanna be back here. We wanna be here. Even talking to you guys right now, being in this position, my tricep is starting to burn. Why? Because I'm depressing and I'm engaged in the tricep at the bottom range. Now I'm gonna have that slight little hinge because I don't wanna be standing straight up like this, right? We don't wanna be in this position because my back's starting to hurt. We wanna be in a little active, athletic position with our hips hinged slightly so we can get over top of the weight. So I have a little bit of a bend over top of the weight, and I'm pushing on the weight. You can look at me right now. I'm literally, if you look at the weight on the cable, I'm pushing it down from here. Now, all our job now is to make sure that we stay in this position. If I cut off my elbows and down, I should look the exact same way when the weight is all the way up here and the weight's all the way down here. So when I'm here, letting the weight come up, and while I'm letting the weight come up, just like when I was doing bicep curls, I'm gonna continue to push my elbows to the floor. And that's gonna help you avoid from your shoulders doing this. The next issue that happens with a lot of people when they do cable extensions. They're either too close and doing this, and then they're doing this after. They're doing this like really weird full body tricep press down, and like half my triceps is even getting worked. Right now, I don't even know what I'm doing. This happens all the time. It happens because we're not depressing our shoulders, and we're allowing our shoulders to come up and elevate. So easy for you guys. You can't shrug and depress your shoulders at the same time. So as long as you're depressing your shoulders, engaging your lats, your shoulders will not move up. The only way your shoulders move up is if you disengage here and you actively let yourself pull up. So again, walking to the weight. We're gonna pull it all the way down and we're gonna walk out a little bit. And we're gonna get us in position, hinge a slight bit. I'm gonna feel a little of the weight, literally, I'm gonna feel a little bit of weight on my toes. Still engaged through my entire foot, but I wanna feel the weight on my toes a bit, helping me create leverage. And then from here, I'm letting my elbows, from here I'm letting the weight pull me up while I'm keeping tension on my triceps, obviously, and my elbows pushing to the floor, some of the top here, and then I'm still active, great stretch in my triceps, and then pushing down, squeezing on the way down. There's your full range. Controlling it up, good stretch, and then down. Now, it's completely fine if you want to add a little bit of a cheat at the end, where you let the elbows or let the weight come a little higher, but even when letting the weight come higher, I'm still letting my elbows push to the floor. So I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. I'm sinking into it. My elbows are still pushed to the ground and I'm in. I'm not letting my shoulders come up here and then use momentum to pull it back down. Shoulders stay down and depressed the entire time. If you watch my shoulders this entire exercise, they're not moving. And that's creating a lot more tension on my triceps. Right now, all I feel is my triceps burning. Full range of motion from the top, from the bottom, squeezing, controlling the top, full stretch, and squeezing all the way down. Now, to give yourself a little bit more of a squeeze at the bottom, if we can get our arms to come back a little bit more, great. And we're gonna achieve that by using the rope. And that's mainly what using a rope is for to begin with. To give you a lot more free range of motion when we're doing these exercises. A lot of times I've seen people use 2 ropes to here, so they're pulling and they can get all the way back, which is great. If you don't, well, you still use what you have. But from here, again, the goal isn't for you to just spread this thing apart. That's not the goal here. The goal is to let this keep your hands in a position like this. So you can go from here and all the way down to here. That's the whole point of it. So we can run fluently like this. It's not for you to do this and then do this thing at the bottom. And I know why people do it. They do it because they think that if I, turn my wrist, my triceps will turn on more. I'm gonna completely extend my arm. I'm fully flexed. My tricep is fully flexed. Can anyone, I'm moving my wrist back. Is anyone seeing anything happen? Like I'm moving my wrist back. Is my tricep doing anything else? It's not. My wrist isn't attached to my damn tricep. So there's no point in doing that. I'm just helping you guys out. Don't waste energy trying to get this at the bottom, right? Again, same rules apply if we're doing a straight bar, pulling it down, walk out a bit, and from here, up, keep my elbows down, and then squeezing back in here, I can actually go back a little further because I don't have this bar in the way. So I can get fully up a little more, and I can get a little bit more of the contraction because my arms can come back a little bit more. But again, from here, I'm pressing into the floor still. For you bikini competitors, it's literally the same thing you're doing when you do your back pose. Anyway, so again, from here, back a bit, floor to core, feel the ground, extend the arm, make sure the weight's pulling you away so your elbows aren't behind your body. Controlling it up, tight core, and squeezing all the way through. Full extension. My fists and wrists and elbows aren't doing anything. They're staying in this hammered position. There's no manipulation from my wrist. Everything is one from my elbows down. Squeezing up, stretch, and down. And down. Find a weight that you can do 10 to 20 reps, failing in between there or coming close to failure. But you can remain and you can sustain the full range of motion. So if you're one of those people who are doing the reps where the shoulders are coming up and we're doing all this stuff, lower the weight, practice being in that full depressed active position where your lats are engaged, and then we're just bending from the elbow up and then squeezing down. And just master that, and then make the rep harder, and then maybe add some more weight once it gets easy for you while you still maintain good full range of motion and tempo. Anyway guys, for some more videos, check these out, buy my ebook, and until next time, you know how it is, iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.